Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Giuliano, the Executive Director here at the Watson Institute at Lynn University. I am humbled and full of gratitude to have the opportunity to welcome each of you from around the world to our first ever Watson Institute at Lynn University Summit. Today, we celebrate a lot of firsts. Our first summit here in South Florida, our first virtual summit, and the first time we get to say congratulations to the Pioneer class on this monumental accomplishment. To the class of 2021, congratulations on making it to the summit. We're incredibly proud of all that our students have accomplished. From the moment that they arrived us and joined us in 2018 up until this point, so much has happened, probably more than they ever would have imagined. And while they might not have envisioned a portion of their undergraduate degree to occur in the midst of a global pandemic, all of our students have continued to rise to the occasion, remaining resilient, dedicated, and passionate about pursuing their mission areas and continuing to solve some of the greatest challenges of our time. Before we dive into presentations, we're excited to introduce a musical guest and poet. I alluded last week to students that we would have a special guest performance this evening, and the students know me very well at this point, and I'm pleased to say I've managed to keep this a secret. So before we get started, I'm thrilled to introduce a music video and poem created especially for this event by two members of the class of 2022, Isaac King and Uche Agbona. Their song is titled A Hero's Journey. Get ready to sing and dance along. I've been singing this song for weeks. Let's hear it.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a training ground for superheroes named Watson Institute. This was for no ordinary superheroes, for superheroes that knew their why and how they wanted to change the world. Oh, land, oh, we're almost there. Land ho, I can see it crystal clear. Oh, yeah, it's the day I've always wanted. I'll finally touch the sand. Oh, between our toes, truthfully, no one knows how it feels to kiss the I've always floated above all the clouds, and I've always wondered what it felt like to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the
My cape dances to the wind as I draw closer to the peak. My heart beats to passion's rhythm. As I step into the world, my courage shielded, arms open, ready to build, I offer my light, a guide to change.
A hero may fall down, but they always rise up.
Possibilities, opportunities, finding power in solutions.
But they always rise up.
Finding power in story. Mine's a call to change, answered.
I was scared for a long time, now I'm back again on a rise. Here I go, here I go. Put down all the fears I had to pick up nothing, and now I know, now I know. I walked through the fire so I know how it burns. I show off my scars cause it proves that I learned. I will be victorious. No, 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 no. Ignite the courage that's inside of me. If not me, then who? If not me, then who? It's just what I have to do. No one else to show and prove. It's just me and me. Now look inside yourself, because you have just gone on a hero's journey. Always protect your courage.
Thank you, Isaac and Uche. There were so many pieces of this song and poem that resonated with me. We're so grateful for this beautiful gift that you've given, and we thank you for your creative contribution to Summit. If you'd like to follow Isaac and Uche's work, please be sure to check the chat on ways to get in touch with them. I'd like to take a moment now to go over what this event will look like. We're going to have 8 student presentations. In between these presentations, we're going to have 4 separate interludes. Words of wisdom from our COO, Andrew Lippi, honoring a preceptor with Eduardo Owens, student keynote presentation by James Okina, and a 2021 student highlight video. Let's give a lot of snaps and congratulations to all of the students by sending some love in the chat. And just before we get started, we want to express our profound gratitude for our corporate, foundation, and individual funders to Watson Institute. This work that we do truly would not be possible without their support. At this time, we'd like to thank the Enlight Foundation, the entire Luff family, Robin, Kevin, Carrick, and Aiden. We are deeply grateful to this amazing family from creating a full ride studentship, the Luff Peace Fellowship, and Robin's commitment and partnership as an advisory board member, and supporting the COVID-19 Studentship Fund. A huge thank you to the Luff family for continuing to protect the courage of our community. We'd also like to thank the Bank of the West, the Anschutz Foundation, Techstars Foundation, Western Union Foundation, Ford Motor Company Fund, Cliff Lewis, Veronica Ruelas and Gary Giglio, Vamsi and Nirmala Sisla, who created the Sisla Tech Fellowship, Kyle Lefkoff and Brad Feld for co-funding the Tech Fellowship at Watson Institute, Red Empress Foundation, Wolfson Foundation, Connie Franchino, and Jane Strode Miller. I also want to send a huge thank you to our partners at Lynn University, President Kevin Ross, Chief Strategy and Technology Officer Chris Bonaforti, Vice President Katrina Carter-Tellison, Dean R.T. Good, Associate Dean Dave Shapiro, Director of the Center for Social Impact Jerry Hildebrand, Director of Special Projects Madison Slate, and all of the staff at Lynn University. Thank you so much for continuing to encourage and champion all of these incredible students. We're deeply grateful. We want to also take a moment to shout out everyone here in the audience. If you are a parent of a senior tonight, go ahead and shout out your graduate in the chat. To our alumni, please say hello and let us know what year you graduated, and you can add a little emoji if you'd like. Shout out to our esteemed mentors. Please go ahead and list your mentee in the chat. We are so grateful to all of our mentors. They're a tremendous part of our program, and we couldn't do this work without you. To our master course teachers that are here, you all should know that each of these students has 90 master courses by the time they graduate. So that's one a week for 3 years. And we also couldn't do our work without their support. These are individuals who come from all over the world, who are thought leaders in their respective fields, CEOs, founders in the nonprofit, tech space, social enterprises. We thank you for joining us and being such important contributors to our program. Preceptors that are here, hello preceptors, we're so glad you could be here. These are our adjunct faculty who are in the classroom with these students every week, no matter what the schedule. And we also want to just make a note that we'll be adding additional shout outs and thank you at the very end to funders and partners. So next, we're going to hear from each of our students and their impact statements. Now, I want to just mention, if you'd like to reach out to any of these students at any point about their work, to support them in their projects, we'll be sharing their bios after this, as well as in the chat. Let's hear it.
My name is James Okina.
My name is Regina Jill.
I'm Samuel Nota.
My name is Nathan Jaffe.
My name is Lima Sarhadi.
My name is Jadon Johnson.
My name is Anahit Mukherjee.
My name is Winrad Akwe.
My name is Bella.
My name is Brema Manso Bangoa.
My name is Reagan Fox.
My name is Brian Akambonde.
My name is Alyssa Tiven.
And I'll change the world by engaging young people to leverage art as a tool for social change, creating a world for young people, by young people.
By bridging the gap between female entrepreneurs and skills and resources they need to run effective businesses with the focus on social and environmental issues.
By building communities that will tackle structural problems through digital innovation and education.
I will change the world by bringing greater accessibility and awareness to the lack of healthcare for underserved communities.
By helping women in the quality of education available to women in Afghanistan, but also to prove that educating women are a benefit to our entire nation.
I will change the world by leveraging the power of business and the creative process to drive transformative change in local communities.
By helping impact investors identify and invest into practical solutions that address systemic issues.
By creating alternative education systems that make learning meaningful, impactful, and productive, to equip young high school students with the skills, tools, and resources to thrive in the future of work.
By using creative mediums to tell impactful stories.
I want to change the world by using my talents and experiences to build lighting solutions that will help people become the better versions of themselves.
By making the United States more politically inclusive, no matter your gender, age, or race, having a chance to make a name for yourself and be an activist.
Compelling the world to care more about Africa and to contribute to a prosperous African future.
I would change the world by ensuring the senior citizen community will have high quality of care in nursing homes regardless of their socioeconomic status.
Thank you, guys. That was beautiful. As you can imagine, I've learned so much from each of these students over the past 3 years, and it's been a tremendous gift to be a small part of their journey. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to take a deeper dive into a few of our students' work. We'll begin presentations with Brian Nakambunde from Namibia. Brian is compelling people to care and contribute to social movements across Africa. As the CEO of UMWE, he oversees the production of documentaries and other content contextualizing why these movements are happening and showing people why they should care. Take it away, Brian.
Over 2 decades ago, 800,000 people died in just 100 days during the Rwandan genocide. This is one of the most infamous atrocities from the African continent. But one thing is lesser known, which is a radio station that almost single-handedly compelled people to start this genocide. The story of the genocide and the radio station makes me think about 2 questions. What is the media convincing us to do, and what is the media showing us? My name is Brian Akambonde, and for 5 years, I've been exploring those questions in the context of African news. That journey has led to me starting a news media company called UMWE Africa, because I realized there is no continentally focused news publisher when that's what Africa needs. News media plays different roles in a society, but the most important one in the context of Africa is getting a critical mass of people to care and become aware of an issue, so that there is enough pressure for those in power to address the issue. Sometimes, all it takes is a local paper to publish a story and for a single neighborhood to care. But in the case of Bobi Wine, a Ugandan youth that campaigned against an infamous dictator early this year, he needed the world to support him, to have a chance at winning the elections, and to not lose his life unlawfully during the process. When an African news story like that needs more than a neighborhood to care, it takes it being published by a global media powerhouse like the New York Times to get global attention. But the New York Times and other powerhouses are far, far away from African stories. That's why I've been building Umwe, to create a global news powerhouse that is closer and authentic to African news stories, with a local and global reputation to get stories the awareness they need for people in power to do the right thing, making that process quicker and more authentic. This kind of organization currently does not exist. There is no African news publisher that is considered a global media powerhouse, let alone a publisher with a focus on the entire African continent. But Rome wasn't built in a day. The New York Times was first issued more than 170 years ago, and while my young team doesn't have that much time, we think we can create an African news powerhouse in a shorter time by focusing on presenting Africa in a brand new way. Umwe creates documentaries that portray African communities and affairs from the perspective of inquisitive and forward-thinking youth, using intimate interviews with experts and stakeholders to contextualize why things are happening and how those affected feel, making it easier for people to have richer conversations about African issues threatening the future of our young democracies. Last summer, we produced a docu-series about COVID-19 challenges and changes that different communities are facing. It aired on Africa's leading pay TV services, reaching over 5 million homes. In 2 months, we will begin producing our next documentary, which will focus on intimate and an unseen insight into the worldview of the Himba people, a people living as they did 100 years ago in a world that is making technological leaps by the year. You can support my work by connecting me with talent or experts willing to advise and help me produce this next project. We also consult organizations needing video production work on the continent, and I'm more than happy to hear from people who simply want to follow my work more closely.
Great work, Brian. It's been so inspiring to see you launch Umwe over these past 3 years, and we're eager to continue to support you on this journey. Our next presentation is from Lima Sarhadi from Afghanistan. She's on a mission to empower women and girls through education. As the founder of AFEC, Afghan Female Education Center, she hopes to prove that educating women and girls is a benefit and should be a national and international priority. Over to you, Lima.
Hello everyone, my name is Lima Sarhadi, and when I was 8 years old, I wanted to become a doctor. However, as I grew up, I realized that the pathway of becoming a doctor was next to impossible, particularly for a young girl living in Afghanistan. I got lucky with the opportunities I have, but Afghanistan education system has been devastated by more than 3 decades of sustained conflict, and not every young girl is so privileged. For my country, completing higher education remains a distant dream for most girls, especially the ones who live in rural areas. And that's why, out of 100 girls, only 20 of them enrolled in primary schools in Afghanistan, and only 5 will graduate from the 12th grade. That means that less than 1 in 10 women in Afghanistan can read, because most are not allowed to leave their homes and work outside. Without the basic ability to read, women struggle to support themselves independently and often turn to an early marriage as their only option to sustain themselves. Because of this, 50% of the girls in Afghanistan are married by the age of 15. And underempowerment remains a major challenge for women in Afghanistan, like in many other places. However, the extent to which women are not only denied empowerment opportunities, but stripped of their every basic right give them no dignity as every human deserves. As a founder of AFEG, Afghan Female Educational Center, I seek to bridge the gap between women and the opportunities to live a life with a dignity by shifting the cultural mindset and empowering Afghan women through quality educations. My focus is on developing professional and educational empowerment programs for Afghan women is building the first female university as a part of their basic human right. Because these initiatives are restricted in nature and unique to the country's social cultural context. And my project focuses on presenting an understanding of the gender inequalities and the threats that exist in the Afghan women community by exploring some potential solutions that could be adopted by the Afghan government and other partners to help women become better versions of themselves regardless of their social, economic / cultural context. Africa is trying to address current problems, but more systematically by using reverse mechanism. For example, if you think of these challenges, the first thing that comes to your mind is let's change the law and make different policies. But how do you change the law and make different policies when the people who should be aware are not doing it? However, what we can do is to empower the people who are sort of empowered so that they can raise awareness. Second step is to work with the Ministry of Education and other partners to help or improve the quality of education, building a better education system, supporting a safe environment for these females. I am positive that we can scale these actions and bridge the gender gap, also demystify cultural practices, maybe not now, but sometimes in the future, inshallah. To wrap up, the ultimate goal of education is social cohesion and a peaceful world. The vision for AFEC is promoting economic growth, increasing female participation, and provision of scholarship for those who cannot afford to attend the university. So please do not hesitate to contact me and learn more about the AFEC mission and vision, as well as how we can support our work. Thank you so much, everyone.
Congratulations, Lima, and thank you for this wonderful presentation. You've been doing truly impactful work since the moment you arrived, and we're eager to continue to support you as you begin to plan your next steps. When we originally started planning Summit, we asked the cohort who they'd like to hear from as a keynote speaker, and Andrew Lippi, our fearless COO, was their nominee. At this time, I'm honored now to transition it over as he shares some words of wisdoms for our graduate.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Tyler. First off, congratulations to the class of 2021. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were meeting in the library for your very first orientation session with Watson back in the fall of 2018. Being invited to speak to you all is a great honor to me, and frankly, I was a bit surprised. Being more of an operations guy myself and usually behind the scenes, I wasn't expecting this. We'll circle back to that shortly though. This is a very special day because you all are the pioneer graduates of the Watson Institute at Lynn University program, and over the past several years, we have built so much of this program together. I know that we haven't seen each other for over a year, but you all are very much always on my mind. I'm always thinking back to our competitive soccer matches together and how Wainwright's team continued to lose to a group of old men. I also think back to Jadon cooking up some delicious burgers on the grill at orientation, and when I first became friends with Bella on the benches outside the Schmidt building. I had fun times going to see LeBron play in Miami with Regan and biking down A1A with Sam and then hopping in the ocean. There are just so many memories that I have with each and every one of you that I could just share all evening. Fortunately, I don't have to, because you all will always be a part of the Watson family and are my personal friends. As I mentioned before, you all are on my mind a lot, and what I think about the most, beyond our great memories together, are your next steps. I am confident, and I can say this because I know each of you, that you all have the unique ability to become leaders in the space. The question is not if you can, but rather if you will. I know you can, but it takes hard work, execution, and commitment. Earlier, I had shared that I did not expect to be invited to speak to you all when you could have invited anybody. I do not consider myself a motivational speaker, but rather someone who can inspire with action and follow-up. My specialty is being able to execute, and that is what I want to see all of you do when you exit this Zoom room this evening. A short story that I often think back to is tied to my early years at Watson Institute. As you all well know, it is easy to get overwhelmed in the impact and entrepreneurship space. There are so many success stories and individuals featured in Forbes, Fast Company, and the list goes on. I've been surrounded by many of these individuals since day one, and I always admired them and their long list of accomplishments. But what I was surprised to see was that they also admired me. For years, I didn't accept it until I realized what they admired about me. And it actually came down to just a couple of small things that, believe it or not, are huge things. These are execution, commitment, and follow-up. Over the past years, you have learned from many things from highly successful individuals. But what I care about the most as you take the next steps in your journey is your ability to execute on your commitments. Do this often and well, and I am certain that you will not be disappointed in yourself and the results that come from this mindset. Let's break this down a little further. I have often said that being an entrepreneur is like being an athlete because it requires discipline, focus, resilience, and commitment. Each year, you always hear people sharing their New Year's resolutions, which usually include a surge in gym memberships until the end of January, and then those are canceled by early February. This usually happens because everyone wants immediate results. I believe that in this space, it is more important to execute on a viable product or idea that gets you off the ground rather than seeking perfection and immediate results. Don't allow perfectionism to stand in the way of you taking your shot, because you never make a shot you've never taken. You can always iterate and fix things as you go along, but there is nothing worse than the lack of execution and follow-through when it comes to brilliant ideas. And you all have so many brilliant ideas that you've already launched. So, when you give someone your word, keep it. When you commit to a new position or idea, commit. And when you are part of something bigger than yourself, execute. Do not just talk about your ideas and spend months dipping in and out of your work. This is your moment, your time to go out and play big. Prove to everyone around you what you are capable of, those who believed in you and those who didn't. Rest assured that if you follow this advice, you will all become master course teachers to those who follow in your footsteps. You all know by now that I am always just a phone call away to support you, and that offer is not an empty one. Congratulations to you all, to your families, friends, and loved ones on this very special moment of your lives. And thanks to each and every one of you, as you have already made a lasting impact on this campus, our team, and community here in South Florida and beyond. You have trailblazed a new path in education, and for that, there are now many who can follow in your footsteps. Cheers to you all, and congratulations.
Thank you, Andrew. I can definitely second Andrew when I say that I'm genuinely excited to invite all of these students back to lead a master course in the future. Our next presenter is Regina Jill from Kyrgyzstan. She is passionate about youth empowerment and helping people discover their full potential. She will be presenting her thesis about the importance of understanding the values of community before tackling issues within the education system in Central Asian countries. She hopes the audience will leave with a better understanding of the core issues with industrial age education system. Regina plans to gain employment in the social impact sector after graduation. Please welcome Regina.
Unemployment, massive migration, poverty are the consequences of poor education, but
Did you know that the bottom line of all social issues are actually built on the systems? The system that encourages young population to follow instructions and never question. The system that accepts stereotypes as a social norm, and the system that was built on industrial age values.
Affected by these values, the management and the leadership in the society are usually built on the top-down system. And I totally agree that this might seem very strong, but the thing is everything is changing so fast, and which makes it almost impossible to improve just for a bit in order to become successful.
We will all have to practice and exercise creativity and imagination in order to see and understand what is happening around us and work out on the solutions to the problem we are facing right now and we will face in the future, at the same time recognizing both opportunities and dangers ahead.
And this is bottom-up system, and according to Oxfam idea on power and change, there are four optimistic approach. The first one is power within, so it's personal self-confidence and sense of rights and entitlement. The second one is power with, collective power through organization, solidarity, and joint action. The third one is power to, meaning effective choice, the capability to decide actions. And the final one is power over, the power of hierarchy. And during the research, I learned about the servant leadership, which is a bottom-up system. And this idea of bottom-up system can actually prepare young minds to become change makers in this world. So the servant leadership, bottom-up system, identifies 10 qualities. The first one is listening. This refers to a deep commitment of listening to others and actually hearing what is said and unsaid. The second one is healing. The servant leader has the potential to heal him or herself and others. The third one is empathy. Good servant leader strives to understand and empathize with others. Conceptualization is the other part, and it seeks to nurture his or her own abilities to dream bigger and greater dreams. And the other quality of servant leaders is awareness, especially self-awareness. And the other one is persuasion, because the servant leader seeks to convince others within the course compliance. Stewardship plays significant role in holding the institutions in trust. Foresight, ability to foresee or know the outcome of a situation. Commitment to the growth of people, commitment to individuals' growth of human beings, and the final one is building community. Leader seeks to identify some means for building community.
From this quick presentation, it's quite clear that the power within is very important, as it gives a space for individuals to grow and develop and practice servant leadership skills, which I believe are a revolutionary approach for coming up with better ideas and better solutions for nowadays social issues. And that's why I would like to ask for guidance and mentorship from this audience. For developing social innovation labs for students in developing countries. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much, each and everyone. I would like to thank Watson team for the incredible work they have been doing, and special thanks goes to my classmates. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much, and it's been an absolute joy working with you and be part of this Watson journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Regina. I know her peers will agree with me when I say Regina is sincerely one of the hardest working students I've ever worked with. Her dedication and diligence, is genuinely inspiring. Congratulations, Regina. Next, we will hear from James Okina from Nigeria. He's the founder of two social enterprises, Street Priests Inc. and Erupt Art Inc., working to create a world for young people by young people. James will be presenting his work and what we all can do on an individual level to make the world safer for young people.
I've worked with some of the most talented young people in the world, many of whom have gone on to become Grammy Award-winning artists, tour the world, sell art pieces worth millions of dollars, amongst many other accomplishments. The most remarkable things about their careers are not what they achieved for themselves, but the influence they had on culture, the problems they brought attention to, and how they ignited a revolution of hope. The only challenge with all of this success is that it never happened. As I worked with young people who could have been anything creatively, my heart was wrecked night after night, because despite their abilities, the world will never know their name. The light they carry will never be seen. Some of them didn't even make it to their 18th birthday. At age 15, I founded Street Press Incorporated, a non-profit that has impacted the lives of over 11,000 disenfranchised children through a youth-led movement in Nigeria. It was born out of the desire to prevent one child from repeating the path I had traveled at age 9 after my parents separated. I turned to vices for a sense of belonging and validation. There are lots of success stories I could tell you, but not every story has had a happy ending. Needless to say, it is gut-wrenching to see greatness where it doesn't belong. I thought this was too obvious. How could everyone not see this? I began to explore the intersection between art and social impact and what this means for young people across the world. What started as curious frustration led to my founding Erupt Art during my time at Watson. Erupt Art is a social enterprise engaging young people in a way that empowers them to leverage their creativity for impact, particularly through the arts. We do this primarily through our signature annual competition. Creatives produce art that inspires, and we directly fund grassroots impact as a result via our partner youth-led organizations. In 2020, we watched as the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the world in the most chilling way, as every nation on earth was plagued by the crisis. Governments were left at their wits' end with virtually every aspect of existence affected. The fragility of many systems exposed, affecting the most vulnerable population in the world, children. We carefully curated a campaign to highlight the challenges of disenfranchised young people, to inspire community action towards solving these problems. The theme of the 2020 competition was, "What About Me?" A call to bring the plight of invisible children across the world to light. We engaged creatives from around the world participating in 4 main art categories: literature, visual arts, performance arts, and audio, for a chance to win $2,000 in each category. Our combined social media reach in 2020 through our ads and partner networks were approximately 572,000 people, spanning 89 countries and mobilizing 738 applicants. 100% of the proceeds from our entry fees were committed directly to providing 24 full days of educational, medical, counseling, and social services to integrate street children back into society. 840 young people were impacted directly through this initiative, with 1,200 meals served to those who were isolated by the pandemic with no source of income for feeding. To create a world that works for young people, we have to begin to see young people as assets, solutions, and not problems to be solved. As simple as this idea is, it holds enormous promise. And my call to everyone here today is this: embrace this idea, lend your voice, commit your resources, and call on your community. It is an investment you will not regret. My name is James Okina, class of 2021. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James, and congratulations on everything you've done up to this point and continue to do. James will be building Erupt Art Inc. while attending graduate school. Congratulations, James. And now we'd like to pass it back over to Andrew Lippi to share a very special announcement.
Thank you so much for providing me with the opportunity to introduce our very own pioneer preceptor, Eduardo Owens. This evening, I am honored to award Eduardo with our very first honorary graduate certificate from Watson Institute. Eduardo's honorary graduate certificate is the first of its kind and is not a degree from Lynn University, but rather a certificate from Watson Institute honoring him as a graduate of Watson's global programming. As of a moment ago, Watson Institute's 293 scholars and alumni from 71 countries have raised over $100 million, created over 800 part or full-time jobs, and impacted over 150,000 people around the world through the initiatives that they help lead. Now, let's add one more. There are now 294 scholars and alumni who have successfully completed our programs and who have impacted well over 150,000 people around the world. Eduardo has had a significant impact on Watson Institute over the past several years. He first led a master course out at our program in Boulder back in spring 2016. After his master course, we received several emails from our scholars asking us if he could return, and he received some of the highest master course teacher reviews of the semester. When Watson Institute had plans to launch our program in collaboration with Lynn University back in 2018, Eduardo was the very first person that we called upon. We called, and Eduardo answered. Eduardo has been with us as a preceptor since fall 2018 and has gone above and beyond for our scholars and programs here at Watson Institute at Lynn University. He lives in Miami and works as the director of IT at a hospital, but he spends his evenings driving back and forth between Miami and Boca Raton to work with our scholars. During the spike of COVID-19 cases, his responsibilities at the hospital greatly increased. We were almost sure that he was not going to be able to continue working with us. But when everything went virtual, he was still at his computer every evening working with our scholars. His commitment to the scholars is unparalleled. And so thank you, Eduardo, for all that you do for all of us. Please take this honorary graduate certificate as a way for us to thank you and honor you on this very special evening. You are also one of our Pioneer graduates. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Andrew for one of his best qualities, introducing people. He truly has a way of verbalizing every introduction in a way that is guaranteed to make you sound like the most amazing person in the world and a total rock star. I am truly humbled now, and always have been, by Andrew's introductions, and today I am so incredibly grateful to receive this honorary graduate certificate from the Watson Institute. For anyone that knows me, you know that I often have some inspirational words to offer up at any given moment and in most situations. As I thought about what to say today, and I thought about it, and thought about it, and then, oh yeah, thought about it some more, I had nothing. You hear people make comments about being speechless, but I always thought that was just something people said, not something that really could happen. And so I think that is what describes what this award means to me. It has truly rendered me speechless. As I unpacked this a bit more, I started contemplating all of the things that people often get recognized for. I got this degree. I got this job. I won this race. The list goes on and on. But the thing about that list of awards is that they are all self-serving. Having received this distinction today is quite possibly one of the proudest moments I've personally had. Maybe because I know how much I put forth into all things Watson and how much I care that all that I do resonates deeply with everyone. But bigger than an award that is just about me, it is about so many more people than just me. And maybe that's why it matters. To name just a few people, it begins with Eric and the courage it took for him to take the original leap of faith and follow his dreams, his vision, and to create the Watson Institute. This award is for him. It's about Andrew, who believed in me, and after coming across and becoming a patron of my own social enterprise, suggested that I would be a good fit to give a master course out in Boulder several years before the program launched here on campus at Lynn. This award is for him. It's about Tyler, who took a leap of faith and while she could have worked abroad in Italy, decided that Watson was the place she wanted to be. She then worked tirelessly to help adapt the Watson Accelerator program curriculum into classes that could be offered here at Lynn in a college environment. This award is for her. It's for Isabel, who also took a leap of faith and joined the inaugural program offering at Watson on campus at Lynn. She has helped to search the globe for the best students to join the Watson program and helped to support this first cohort when they arrived on campus. This award is for her. There are also so many others who were part of this, but perhaps who this award goes out to the most is, in fact, this first amazing cohort of students that are graduating now. They took, quite possibly, the biggest leap of faith when they chose to start their college journey, their careers, their adult lives, with a brand new program, which for some was halfway across the world. It was them showing courage to follow their dreams and passions and bet on themselves. And through their perseverance, both in their lives before Watson that made them a good candidate for this program, and their journey at Watson that got them graduating through this program as our original pioneers, that this award goes out to. This award is for them. This brings it back to me. You see, while I am honored to be given this award, it's about so many more people than just me. I think perhaps this is part of why it's hard for me to put it into words, because it's not just my actions or my words, but those of countless others that allowed me to get to this place. Even better than receiving this honor today is how this award actually pays future dividends and will only get better over time. As this first cohort goes out into the world and starts putting their dent on everything they touch, their story is my story. Though I may not be with them in those moments, they will be with me in my thoughts. When I look at the certificate, or when I tell the story of how I was so honored to receive this, a story I will undoubtedly tell many times, my narrative will be of a time when I had the opportunity to truly do something that mattered, that made a difference by putting myself into a budding group of entrepreneurs with a vision to go out and positively impact some of the biggest social problems of our time. My words to you all, as you go out and push against the challenges you will face, always remember who you are. Remember what you believe, and in the face of forces against you, of tides going opposite of you, and of winds in your face, remember to have the courage to stay strong with your convictions and set your sails to take you not where you were blown to, but where your passions and purpose direct you. Your story is my story, and with this award, I too am part of your Watson family, a distinction I will forever be very proud of. Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." I am truly grateful to be honored as one of your peers. So now, let's go do something big together.
Thank you, Andrew and Eduardo. Eduardo, we are so lucky to have you as part of our Watson Institute family. I have your certificate here that we will get to you in just a couple of weeks. We cannot wait to present it to you in person. Thank you for protecting all of our courage. I know firsthand what an impact you've had on our team and community and the class of 2021. We will resume presentations with Anahit Murkatan from Armenia. Anahit aspires to help impact investors and financial institutions identify and invest in practical solutions addressing systemic problems. On her journey, she has had experiences working as a private equity analyst in Europe, as well as an impact investing intern here in the US. Her presentation focuses on how impact investing can serve as an effective change-making tool. Anahit will be reflecting on her learnings and experiences on the impact investing space as a Watson student.
Dear audience and members of Watson community, thank you so much for being here today. I'm honored to be presenting my outlook on impact creation through impact investing. I am Anahit, and I originally come from Armenia, a small post-Soviet country still battling the challenges of transitional economy. On this slide, I wanted to open two different windows. In one, we see children in low-income households, similar to the one I grew up in. And on the right window is a world-class education opportunity that I was able to secure, but that many of my peers and youth in my community are not able to obtain. In fact, the school was built in a region with around 25% poverty rate. This is one small model of an issue that exists in my community. These and many systemic issues exist not only in my country, but touch lives of many in different communities and countries. For example, here in Miami, one window opens to a city that is home to 30 billionaires, and on the other one is the metropolitan with high inequality and 15% poverty rate. On the journey of closing the gaps and creating one window where we are all together, I started experimenting. While in high school, I started a small project helping women in the rural parts of my country to produce and sell eco bags, thus generating income. And this helped me see the domino effect of impact creation. Helping women was also helping their children's education. And similar projects of capital inflow addressed not only one specific issue, but impacted other aspects of community life. And to understand more structurally how impact creation works, I became part of the pioneering cohort here at Watson Institute. My goal was simple, to find answers to these three questions. Who is responsible for impact creation? How do we measure impact? And how to tackle large-scale systemic problems? My academic journey and research of various solutions to addressing systemic changes led me to impact investing. I got to understand that the existing societal problems prove that our collective goodwill and governing systems efforts might not match the magnitude of the challenges that exist. And impact investing can serve as a method to create a change while deviating from traditional philanthropy. Impact investing combines rigorous financial analysis with the heart of the philanthropy. On the mission to understand impact investing, we see that industry is facing two main components and challenges that usually come on the surface. First is the promise and the extent of the financial returns. Although the investors are willing to pay the price for impact with the lower returns, this model has been pivoting, with many funds generating market rate returns. And the second component is also part of my three questions, is the understanding impact and measuring it. And the question of impact measurement is still a gray area. In 2020 GIN report, impact investors expressed their main concerns and challenges for the industry. This comes to show the gaps in measuring impact is universal and can attract investors is still an issue. Here we see that 66% of the investors say that they consider impact washing as one of the main challenges for the upcoming 5 years for this industry. And 35 and 34% say that inability to demonstrate impact and share and compare those impact with the peers is a challenge that is persistent. In the pursuit to understand these challenges and explore the two components of impact investing, I was blessed to have the opportunity to be part of Watson Institute and learn from the young entrepreneurs and change makers themselves and the systems and challenges that they're facing. And on the other side, I was able to gain technical hard skills through my internship experience in a sustainable investment private equity firm. On my next step, I am looking to deepen my experience in impact investing private equity space. Thus, I am currently looking for career prospects and connections that will help me to learn and find solutions in addressing systemic issues through impact investing. You are welcome to connect me through my email and LinkedIn mentioned here. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations.
Thank you, Anahit, and congratulations on everything that you've done and been able to accomplish up to this point and continue to do in this space. Our next presentation is from Alyssa Tiven from the US. Alyssa is on a mission to create an economically and socially inclusive senior citizen establishment. She's passionate about advocating for the senior community and believes that all seniors deserve the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Please welcome Alyssa.
I remember remember walking through the halls of Menorah House with the desolate lighting, a place I saw hospital beds, the sweat coming from the workers from the broken air conditioner, a place I heard patients screaming from their beds that they need something or they needed to go to the bathroom with no one in sight. Pick up on how I did not say home. This was no home. That patient screaming used to be my Oma, normally the most silent girl in the room, the most easygoing, supportive person in the world. Hi, my name is Alyssa Tiven, and my Oma and I are not the only people who were failed by this system. I was always an energetic kid. From the day my mom brought me home from the hospital, her holding me in her arms with her protection, my dad's smile every time he would look at his little girl and call me Cookie Girl. I know what unconditional love is from my family. Growing up in Long Island, New York, surrounded by my grandma, my grandpa, my cousins living down the street, countless dinners and bonding moments. I won't hesitate to say I wanted to explore the world. Growing up in one place, knowing one kind of living, that's when I decided to come to Florida to school. Here, my Oma, which is my dad's mom, resonated. I made sure to attend school close to her nursing home so I could be there for her since I was the only family here. I came with the aspirations to study event management, not knowing my life would soon change forever. My Oma lived to the age of 86, but easily could have lived 5 more years with a happier end to her life with a higher quality of care. I tried to move her to 7 different homes, all with waiting lists 8 to 12 months, time she didn't have and prices we just couldn't afford. A senior citizen is 65 years or older. Right now, that is 52 million people in the United States. By 2050, it is estimated to double. If there are 8 to 12 month waiting lists for Medicare and Medicaid beds now, what's going to happen in the future? The cost for staying in a nursing home continues to rise. Yearly, in 2016, it was about $82,000, and in 2028, it is forecasted to go all the way to $120,000 a year for a semi-private room. In addition, a senior citizen on average makes about $25,000 a year. This clearly is not enough compared to how much one needs to pay a year for a nursing home. The story of my Oma is far too common across America. Currently, there's really inconsistent staff to patient ratios. Right now in many homes, there's 1 nurse to 16 residents when there really should be 1 to 8. She was yet another number in this broken system. I decided to take my grief and join Watson Institute studying social entrepreneurship with a minor in healthcare policy. What does my future hold? Well, I strive to create my own model of nursing home that has dignified care, high quality of care regardless of someone's socioeconomic status, for you, for our future loved ones, for our loved ones today. I'm really happy to say I have been working on nursing home models to make this dream come true. One of them is integrating a nursing home onto a college campus. Here, the partnership and intergenerational community will lead to a financial benefit and a social one. Quality of care can definitely be subjective, but I believe it means a lack of neglection and a higher amount of cognitive activities. From being on Lynn Student Government KOR, to helping open the Social Impact Lab and meeting people like Sakina Akubi, and working alongside Jerry Hildebrand, working with organizations across America and the world, to being the Student Impact Leadership Organization's Vice President, to creating my own program, Lynn Talks, which brought residents of a nearby home on campus to engage in an intergenerational conversation. Lynn University and Watson Institute has definitely helped me excel in my passions. One of my favorite moments has been attending Opportunity Collaboration. Here, a bunch of social entrepreneurs around the world were able to get together, and it really taught me the importance of cultural perspectives. This led to me wanting to combine my passions of traveling and senior care. As I go into this next chapter of my life, I am seeking opportunities all around the world that do combine these passions. And as I consider myself a human sponge of knowledge, always wanting to soak up as much information as I can, I seek to be connected to anyone in the nursing home community or the university community that wants to contribute to a future model of senior care. And of course, if I can be of any assistance to you or your loved ones, feel free and please reach out to me.
Oh boy, cut.
Thank you, Alyssa. I was told that my mic was a little bit robotic when I was introducing Alyssa, so I'd like to reintroduce her. As you can see from her presentation, Alyssa's on a mission to create an economically and socially inclusive senior citizen establishment. She's passionate about advocating for the senior community and believes that all seniors deserve the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Thank you, Alyssa. I know you will continue to make significant waves here in our South Florida community and beyond as you remain dedicated to this field. Before we continue with presentations, we're going to pass it back to James Okina, who the students have selected to be their Class of 2021 student keynote.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, James. Thank you for speaking to your classmates and our audience. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone from sunny South Florida. I'd first of all like to start by thanking the founder of the Watson Institute, Eric Glostrom. Thank you so much for bringing this vision to life. Thank you for being tenacious in pursuing this idea that students can major in their mission in creating a better world. I'd like to go on to thank the wonderful management and staff of the Watson Institute at Lynn University for being relentless in executing their assignment. Without their support, we will not be here today. I'd like to thank my peers for this opportunity to speak on behalf of my class. I do not take this for granted. I've always thought about how lucky I have been to go to school with some of the most remarkable young people in the world. You see, freshman year, I walked into our first class that was taught by Eduardo Owens, dubbed Leap of Faith. And I was taken aback by how fitting the name was. You see, although we came from different countries from around the world, we shared a common denominator. We were all taking a leap of faith. I was so nervous and unsure about coming to Watson that I bought my flight ticket to Miami less than 48 hours before my trip. Too many unanswered questions. Like, what happens if I can't complete my tuition? What does one really do with a social entrepreneurship degree? Am I enough? What does success look like? What does success look like? Just 2 years prior to coming to Watson, I wasn't sure what social entrepreneurship itself was. I took the leap anyway. And as I got to know my classmates and heard their stories, I realized we were all grappling with the same questions. But almost instinctively, we found solace in these unanswered questions, and we found solace in each other. To quote a great American philosopher who once said, "I found peace in the violence. Can't tell me there's no point in trying." Khalid, 2017. The bond we shared was unparalleled. The passion in every class was palpable. After having very passionate conversations in class for almost 3 hours, we would take these conversations from class to dinner and then back to our dorm rooms. In Gen Z parlance, we would say it was lit. Freshman year ended almost as quickly as it started. Towards the end, we're not as edgy as we were at first. A lot of discovery had been done, a lot of attempts to answer those questions, a lot of attempts to act on our dreams. That entrepreneurial DNA, fused with being young, could not be mistaken. We're becoming increasingly impatient with just theory and couldn't wait to do. By sophomore and junior year, everyone was off to finding answers. Brian had already launched Umwe Africa, a media outfit reclaiming African stories and making news appealing to young people. Anahit was sure that impact investing was the way to go. Wainwright had piloted Tribe Liberia, building what is fast becoming the country's most effective education effort. Samuel, or Samo as is fondly called, was working on social impact related projects through his internship in consulting, finance, and tech. Bella's photojournalistic incline was already making the rounds. Nathan was no longer unsure about being a paramedic. In fact, he was already addressing all aspects of patient care. Jadan was building really cool stuff and would go on to co-lead one of the largest efforts to combat the COVID-19 driven medical supply shortage across the world. Myself and Isaac King had carried out field research in the Dominican Republic and Brazil and represented Lynn University at Oxford University in 2019. Regina was reimagining education for Kyrgyzstan. Regan was traveling across the country to increase voter registration, and Brima already had a pending patent for his solar lamp invention, all under 18 months. We're definitely not the kids who arrived at Lynn University's campus fall of 2018. So much was going on. There were so many questions that had been answered, but there were just as many more questions. There were now the question, am I doing enough? And just as we thought maybe we have something going on here, boom, COVID happened. To say the feeling of anxiety and helplessness that engulfed this period, coupled with having to deal with the reality of moving around on very short notice, not knowing where to go, and still attending online classes, to say that this was hard, on the class of 2021 is a huge understatement. Our senior year has been far from what we may have imagined. And in the midst of all of this, some of the hardest fought battles are still being won. This class is still daring to dream, to do and attempt great things. In the middle of the pandemic, Lima completed her research and is prototyping a university for women in Afghanistan. Alyssa took the bold step to begin work at a retirement home as she redesigns care for senior citizens in America. Rachel, more than ever before, is determined to change how we think about CSR. In many ways, we're just young people trying to find answers. But make no mistakes, this is a class of pioneers that would undoubtedly leave their mark on the world. And with a degree like social entrepreneurship, the world doesn't leave us much option anyway. Just last week, when I told someone I was studying social entrepreneurship, they said, oh, like network marketing and social media? That's cool. I was like, I guess. There's no handbook for navigating college or life. And the same can be said for this class. Some days the question is, what does success look like? On some other days, the question is, am I doing enough? As the class of 2021 closes this chapter and opens a new one, questions about what our priorities are and what our priorities should be would keep coming up. There would always be the temptation to measure or predict the value of our work or progress. And while that is important, I would like to remind this class and everyone here today that it's important to just be. To just be. Martha Graham, the legendary dancer and choreographer, provides more insight on this when she said, there is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It's not your business to determine how good it is, or how valuable, or how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and truly, and directly to keep your channel open. So I say to you today, please keep your channel open. And as you plot your next path, struggle with expectations, take on the next challenge, unsure of what is next. The next time you grapple with what success looks like, or whether you're doing enough, please remember these words by Ralph Waldo Emerson: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find beauty in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that one life has breathed easier because you lived. This is to have succeeded. And today, personally, I'd like to recognize someone who has made life for me a little easier. My mom. Thank you. Thank you for all you've done for me. And on behalf of this class, to everyone who made us breathe easier, family, friends, mentors, peers, colleagues, Watson, Lynn University, we say thank you. Thank you. Onward.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much for representing your cohort and taking the time to put such eloquent words together that speak to your collective experience.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are our chief storyteller, and we admire you for that. Thank you again, James. Our next presenter is Brima Bangura from Sierra Leone. Brima is a design thinker, inventor, and changemaker who has already developed an eco-friendly generator before attending Watson Institute at Lynn University. Brima became the youngest Sierra Leonean to be awarded the silver medal from Queen Elizabeth in 2018. He will be speaking about the lessons he has learned while building his venture, Revelite, over the past 3 years. Brima hopes his presentation today will leave you all with a reminder that execution is everything. Please welcome Brian.
We all have different goals in life, and to be able to attain some of these goals, we sometimes need to make necessary stops. Now, this can be likened to taking a road trip. Now, when you are taking a road trip, you already know the final destination. In other words, you're moving from point A to point B. However, the closer you get to your destination, the more necessary it is to make adjustments. And these adjustments can be, for example, going to the gas station. But why do you want to go to the gas station anyways? Well, there might be 3 reasons why you want to go to the gas station. One is to get gas, right? Secondly, if you have a flat tire, they can be able to fix it. And lastly, if you're hungry, you want to go to the gas station so you can enter one of the stores and get some snacks and food. Now, the reason why you stop at this gas station is you don't want to be stranded in the middle of the road when one of these 3 things are missing. Now, you don't want to be hungry when you're driving, or you don't want to be in the middle of the road and you run out of gas. That can be very inconvenient, right? So the gas station is like a support system. It gives you all the necessary steps you need to be able to reach your destination. Now, once you make the stop at the gas station, you cannot be distracted by the cars passing by, leaving you. Now, the reason for this is because you have a clear understanding of where you are going and know exactly what is important for you to be able to finish your destination. Now, it can be gas, flat tire, or even snacks. Now, you also understand that the present situation, which is the gas station, is not the final destination. And so the example of a road trip moving from point A to point B can sometimes be likened to who we are now and what we want to become in the future, which is the final destination. Now, for me, it's entrepreneurship or building amazing products and building amazing companies in the future. That is something I'm passionate about. Now, we all have our own different goals for unique destinations, right? And so to be able to achieve some of these goals or visions we have, we sometimes need to make the necessary stops and accumulate all the resources we need to continue our destination. Now, these steps may include grad school, or if you want to get your PhD or MBA. For me, it's product management. Now, product management is unique. Product management stands between building the right products, but also building the product right. Now, product managers are considered the visionaries, people who decide what features or applications to build. And they focus on 3 things. They focus on why, what, and the how. And so with product management, you can be able to build amazing products, but also you will be able to understand the customer as well. Because again, defining the customer problem and understanding the pain points is crucial. And so as a product manager, you get to wear many hats. You get to understand the needs of the customers and build amazing products. Secondly, you get to rally around people. You get to rally around teams. You have the opportunity to work with different teams in marketing, user experience, customer service, support, engineering, all these amazing departments. And so having a clear understanding of how everything works within the company itself is crucial as a product manager. Now, there has been successful product managers that have become successful CEOs. For example, the founder of Notion, which is an amazing product we all love today, was a product manager. Also, the CEO of Google, was the head of product at Google before he became the CEO. And the amazing Slack we all use, an amazing product. The founder was the director of product management at Yahoo. So you see how product management is crucial if you want to build a great company or work with great teams in the future. So for me, there are three reasons why I want to be into product management and why I think product management is going to help me in the future. One is capital. Now, I want to be able to raise as much money as possible, but also save some of the money I'm getting paid in product management so that in the future, I can be able to accumulate all this capital and launch my own venture in the future. Secondly, experience. Now, with product management, you get to work with teams from different departments, engineering, marketing, user experience. And these teams are crucial if you want to build amazing products, but also work with people. And so I believe that I can be able to accumulate all these experiences to help me in the future. And lastly, network. You get to work with, again, smart people, people from engineering, but also you get to interact with other product managers from different departments, but also different companies. And this can all help you in the future. You can be able to choose exactly what department is very important in your product decision and then get them on board. And so for product management, have the opportunity to work with this great company, RingCentral. I will be working as a full-time product manager after I graduate, wherein I will be joining the product team, which is very exciting. I also had the opportunity to intern with them the past winter, which was incredible, and I learned a lot. And so in the meantime, I will be offering a paid consulting in product management, but also I'll be helping your business or your idea. I'll be able to help you understand what your customers' needs are and help you build incentives and services that will help you build amazing product for your customers. Again, the customers with the problems are the ones with the solution. So understanding those needs is crucial. And my job is to help you with that. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Brahma Mansobangoa, and I'm very excited, and I will be very happy to help out. As we make these stops, it is crucial to have the final destination in mind, right? So for me, the final destination is becoming a successful founder of a company in the future, where I'll be able to build amazing products that will help solve problems around the world. And so the stop is there, but always be clear about the destination. And then the stop will give you all the resources you need to be able to continue your destination. And once we hit the road, it's winning time. Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you, Brahma. It's been incredible to watch you get to this stage in your professional career. We're so proud. We're going to hear from our final presenter, Wainwright Akoi. Wainwright is a Liberian social entrepreneur and founder of Tribe, a social enterprise reimagining secondary education by creating alternative models that make learning meaningful, impactful, and productive. As CEO, Wainwright will tell his story designing and launching a venture in a niche ecosystem with no blueprint. He hopes you will share in his conviction of creating ecosystems to prepare young people to thrive in the 21st century. Wainwright works as a consultant at Dahlberg Media in Copenhagen and will continue building Tribe after graduation. Please welcome Wainwright.
I have a story to tell. My name is Wayne. That story is me. I am a tragic optimist. In the midst of the most difficult circumstances, I remain hopeful and pursue meaning. On August 19, 2018, I left home, a place I had grown to love and hate, a place I cherished and despised, but also a place in my heart that I long for change, though sometimes this change seems difficult. One-way flight tickets, deep fears and insecurities, partial tuition, no source of income, and all the reasons quite apparent that I would have felt. The irony of the tragedy this place holds is what gives me hope and optimism. Have you ever wondered what poverty looks like or what it means to you? Oftentimes, we know poverty to be the denigrating image of the child in the media who's starving, or the African family that cannot afford food and electricity. And sometimes poverty looks just like me: educated, good looking, presentable, smiling, but it lacks dignity. 1 in 2 young people live in poverty, which is an uncanny correlation to 1 in 2 people who are illiterate in Liberia. Education forms the bedrock of personal freedom, national productivity, and economic growth. But Liberia's education system continues to fail on this promise. The complexity of poverty is the approach we take to it to solve it: aid, donation, distribution of materials. These are non-sustainable. Poverty is as much or more a structural and economic problem as it is social. The approach needs to be holistic, led by people who understand and feel it. The traditional approaches to solving poverty limit the options for people to transition out of poverty. It requires systemic change. This is why Tribe exists: to disrupt conventions and build evolving, lasting solutions that make education meaningful, impactful, and productive. We want to facilitate students to learn and succeed, to support schools to teach effectively, and support organizations to function efficiently. We built a team of highly skilled and experienced young professionals with a 5-year average professional work experiences and skill set. We leverage primary research, data, and human-centered design to inform our strategies and our solutions. In the past year, we conducted 1 workforce study, launched 4 impact programs, and published 4 impact reports, impacting a combined total of 45 students in 2 counties across Liberia. Our model has received several recognitions and awards, including finalists in the Orange Social Venture Prize, Liberia, and the Oxford Annual Mapping System Research Competition at the Saïd Business School. The hope of the work we do and the possibilities that exist ahead are as a result of the tragic optimism I held on the day that I departed home. That there are all the reasons to stay and all the reasons to not dare, because I might have failed. But I chose the slim chance that, what if things could just work out? That same tragic optimism is what I believe informed the Watson program. What if we could support students who did not want to be traditional and want to go on to solve some of the world's biggest challenges? I believe that same tragic optimism is what made Andrew Lippi to place the big bet on me. What if he could do well here? It is that same tragic optimism with which I lead Tribe. What if we could create better learning ecosystems to inspire a new generation of young, productive entrepreneurs, innovators, and thinkers? I'm betting big on the future of education in Liberia and across Africa. I'm in need of pre-seed and seed funding for our work and people interested in connecting us to support resources and other people who may want to support. You may also follow us on social media to stay informed and see the growth of our work over the next few months. Would you join our tribe as we reimagine secondary education to create lasting solutions that will support young people out of poverty? Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, we are honored to be part of your tribe and so excited to see you accomplish big things. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas Kakuka, and I am the Director of Programs. Now, before we close out for today, we put together a short video to highlight the class of 2021 and thank them for all of the incredible ways that they are working to solve some of the world's biggest problems. Enjoy.
On August 22, 2018, I walked through the gates of Lynn at about 1 o'clock p.m. and I met all strangers. And these strangers became acquaintances. These acquaintances became friends. And this group of friends became a family. and this family has become a lifelong support. To my cohort, the first cohort, I want to say thank you for the profound impact you've had on my life over these last 3 years. I don't think my journey here will be complete without saying how much I appreciate you. And I'm very optimistic and hopeful that we are all going to do great things in the world. And together, forever, one love. Thank you.
Hello class, Eduardo here. With a few words in this special occasion for you all, I want to start by saying how grateful I am that our paths crossed and as a result our comfort zones expanded. I wish you all the best.
So when I think of the first cohort, I think of unity, I think of passion, and I think of commitment. Like, most of them already have their ventures, they're so passionate about it, they like speak with you from an educated perspective. Like, I really see people who are intentional about their desire to create a change in the world.
Cheers to the most inspiring, kind, and incredible bunch of people that could have been gathered under one roof. I hope that one day we will have the chance to yet again fight over a game of pool, argue over the existence of luck, or simply share a dance all night long. Cheers to the class of 2021. Love you guys.
I'm really pleased to be able to offer my personal congratulations and those of the Social Impact Lab here at Lynn as well to what I call the Pioneer class. Not only were you the proof of concept to show that Watson belonged here, but Watson and you, the first class in particular, have really changed the whole culture of this university campus. And you need to realize that. This comes not just from me, because I'm your biggest backer, but it comes from faculty, it comes from administration, it comes from staff, it comes from all the people connected with Lynn. This Watson thing, I mean, you exploded here on campus, and with all the right reasons. You're hard workers, you participate in class, you do your homework, you come up with amazing, innovative new ideas. You will be missed. Now, you've got a couple other cohorts following in your footsteps. They're big footsteps, but you've laid the groundwork for all the rest of Watson here.
This area of social entrepreneurship and having the relationships that I've been able to develop with the students, with the faculty, and to see the growth that we've each individually gone through. As a mentor, I've been gifted really to have one student for 3 years and one for 2 years. I'm looking forward to another mentee as we go forth into this program.
There will not be another cohort like you guys. The way you are united and the way you are connected is just incredible, and I was always, I think, so jealous of this relationship that you were able to build within your cohort. You were able to build amazing friendships, you were able to find true love, and I think just to build a family.
I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this, and I think I speak on behalf of a lot of us, but you've had a very positive impact on our lives, and you've inspired us in ways that make us better people and things that we'll take with us for the rest of our lives moving forward.
I'm here in DC, and I just want to leave you with a few words as you graduate. The first thing is, always remember the importance of community. No matter where you are in the world, just remember your Watson Fellows are all over the world, and we're here to support you. If you need anything, remember to rely on us, remember to reach out to us. You're embarking on a new journey, and no matter where that journey takes you, always remember to be kind to yourself.
There are not many people in this world with whom you meet the first time and immediately click and build a lifetime relationship. My mentor, Alex, is one, and he has had a transformational impact on my life over these 3 years. From being a mentor, to a friend, to a family, to a partner, I'm incredibly grateful for all the support you've given to me. Your brilliance, intelligence, and attention to detail have really helped me navigate some of the most difficult moments in my life these past 3 years. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, and everything I've achieved today, I share that with you. Congratulations.
Wow, I don't know about you all, but after these presentations, the creative contributions, the memories, my heart is so full, and I continue to be inspired by these students and all of our students at the Watson Institute at Lynn University. It's been an absolute honor to work with each of you over these past 3 years, and I'm energized to watch as you continue to grow, do, and make an impact around the world. As our time together comes to a close, I'd like to take a moment to thank the following individual partners and funders. Our Watson board, thank you to the incredible Watson board, including Jason Griffith, Jane Strode-Miller, Aaron Krampitz, and Mike Miles, who also pioneered with us the investment structure to launch Watson Institute at UFM. Also, a huge thank you to Thomas Kakuka for editing all these incredible videos. And I'd also like to thank the programs team here in South Florida who has worked tirelessly with me to make this happen. Alberto and Nicholas, thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you. And last but not least, I would like to thank you from around the world for joining us. It means so much to us that you took the time to celebrate with us and send these seniors off with the support and recognition that they deserve. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall. In case you missed it, we're going to leave you all with Isaac Anuche's song, A Hero's Journey. Good evening, everyone, and thank you.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a training ground for superheroes named Watson Institute. This was for no ordinary superheroes, for superheroes that knew their why and how they wanted to change the world.
Oh, land, oh, we're almost there. Land ho, I can see it crystal clear. Oh, yeah, it's the day I've always wanted. I'll finally touch the sand. Oh, between our toes, truthfully, no one knows how it feels to kiss the I've always floated above all the clouds, and I've always wondered what it felt like to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the ground, to touch the
My cape dances to the wind as I draw closer to the peak. My heart beats to passion's rhythm. As I step into the world, my courage shielded, arms open, ready to build. I offer my light, a guide to change.
A hero may fall down, but they always rise up.
Opportunities, finding power in solutions.
But they always rise up.
Finding power in story. Mine's a call to change, answered.
was scared for a long time. Now I'm back again on the rise. Here I go. Here I go. Put down all the fears I had to pick up nothing, and now I know. Now I know. I walked through the fire, so I know how it burns. I show off my scars, cause it proves that I learned. I will be victorious. No, 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 no. Ignite the courage that's inside of me. If not me, then who? If not me, then who? It's just what I have to do. No one else to show and prove. It's just me and me. If not me, then who? Now look inside yourself, because you have just gone on a hero's journey. Always protect your courage.